Okay, today we're going to learn how to make peach cobbler. First, you'll need a stick of butter, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 30-ounce can of peaches, 1/3 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 cup of flour, and lastly 1.5 cups of sugar. Now we're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. We're going to melt that 1 stick of butter in our casserole dish. We'll take the casserole dish and bring it to the oven to melt it. Now we're going to mix 1 cup of sugar and put it into a mixing bowl. Add a teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/3 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 whole cup of flour, and then we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And let's not forget about our butter in the oven. And then we're going to take our can of peaches and use a can opener to open them. For this step, you're going to need a small bowl to hold the peaches while you drain them or separate them. Some people use an actual strainer, but I wanted to keep the syrup for the next step, so I just separated them from the syrup. Mix together all your dry ingredients in a bowl. We're going to add a cup of milk to our dry ingredients, or almond milk. Let's remember this step is optional, but I added the syrup from the can of peaches into our mix. Now we're going to get our dish of butter and pour the peaches over it evenly. And finally, we're going to pour our batter over the peaches. It's okay for it to be on top. It'll go down to the bottom eventually when it's baking. This step is completely optional, but we're going to mix 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and nutmeg and 1/2 cup of sugar and sprinkle it over the top of our peach cobbler. And finally, we're going to place the cobbler in the oven now and set our timer to 45 minutes. that is how you make homemade peach cobbler.